Basically what you're saying in a kind of very Stalinist way is this is the position, everybody sign up for it or else. Or you say that there's nothing worth arguing over. And I think that would just take away the genuine dilemmas. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Of course, we have different visions of society's future. There isn't one answer. I actually think the problem today with that kind of bitter, vicious, culturally nasty atmosphere is not that people are debating, that they're not listening. They're not actually debating or discussing at all. There's an assumption of the most malign motives for somebody on the other side. There's an assumption that the other side of the argument is totally invalid and should be dismissed and shouldn't even be engaged with. So I actually think the secret is not trying to get everyone to hold hands and agree, but actually to learn how to disagree better.
Are there one or two tips you could give people to take away to try and disagree better?
I genuinely think we should start off with the premise that the people that we're disagreeing with are like ourselves, and we should try a little empathy and try and work out why they think what they think. It'll either help improve your side of the argument because you'll try and engage at the highest level with the best arguments coming from the opposition, so you'll have to be better at your own arguments. Or, in fact, you never know, you might change your mind, which, of course, is a very important part of this process.
When I think about things I've really changed my mind about over the years, nearly always it was when I lost an argument. And I had to sit down and think, right, OK, well, if I lost that argument, much as I hate to admit it, probably it's because I'm wrong.
Yeah. Or I actually spoke at a panel the other evening and I wasn't very good. I didn't manage to convince very many people, and I found it a very galling and humiliating experience, but it was good for me. I did think, right, next time I'm going to be much better prepared. And that's also part of Debating Matters, saying you can take the criticism.
Have I convinced you that disagreeing can help us all challenge our assumptions and sharpen our ideas? Or are you thinking, this is all very nice in theory, Timandra, but when I go into work tomorrow, open my mouth in a meeting and disagree with policy, what do you think will happen then, eh? So now we need to convince your boss that disagreement can be good for getting things done. Unless you are the boss. In which case, listen up. Here's some advice from Jeff Mulgan of Nesta, an organisation which promotes innovation.
The reason for having disagreement is that none of us alone, no individual, will in fact have the truth or the insights on their own. And a group properly constructed is much more intelligent than even the smartest individual in the room. And the problem is, if our sort of human nature makes us want to be accepted and liked, and therefore makes people suppress precisely the really valuable critical comments which helps a group be smarter than the individuals within it.
Why is it important to have disagreement in meetings, though? Because I think people instinctively feel, and that's why they don't want to speak out and be the one to disagree, they feel that the mood and the sense of solidarity or the sense of having a common purpose is somehow more important than some specific objection they might have. Are they wrong?
What usually goes wrong in meetings, in business as elsewhere, is people don't say what they really think because it may disturb others and it may get in the way of the groupthink. So what you need in good meeting design is ways which make it easy for the introverts to speak, not just the extroverts. You need ways where the less powerful people can speak, not the most powerful. You need ways which bring those often uncomfortable insights to the surface.
Don't we all feel personally attacked when someone says, I don't think your idea will work? Or is that just me?
We do, and that's what's fascinating about things like courtrooms and science, is you want people to make the best possible case for something, to be passionate, to use every ounce of their kind of emotion and brilliance to think of the best possible prosecution case or defence case or why their scientific theory is the answer to everything. You then need a really robust process of interrogation and trying to knock it down and the contrary argument. But ideally, you then need people to be willing to move on if they've lost the argument and recognise this is in the service of a bigger goal like justice or scientific truth, and then to suspend that and move on to something else.
Disagreements on social media have a bad reputation. But Jeff thinks that when people are working towards a shared goal, technology can help them to disagree constructively.
So the current forms of Twitter and so on are appallingly badly designed for good discussion.